a woman, this is really wild. Let's put it up full mass. She went inside of a store to shoplift, according to the authorities. Her car then is set on fire. She left the children inside of the vehicle. Ms. Moore is her name, went inside of a store where loss prevention personnel watched her shoplift items for about an hour. Ms. Moore was leaving the store when she saw her car engulfed in flames, dropped the stolen merchandise, ran out of the store. Okay, now the picture you're looking at, children were inside of that car that's completely on fire. Shoppers witnessed the fire and helped rescue the children, thankfully, from the flames. According to the report, the 2 children were transported to the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital, and one child suffered first-degree burns to her face and ears, according to the report. Moore was interviewed and requested an attorney. She was arrested by the neighboring Oviedo Police Department for outstanding warrants in other counties unrelated to the incident, the report said. While in custody at the Orange County Jail, Moore was charged with aggravated child neglect and arson, according to the report. It is undetermined what ignited the fire. However, if Moore was not being neglectful, it is unlikely the child would have been injured, police said, and I agree with them. Moore also faced 4 additional charges of petty theft, battery, and assault from previous incidents, and is being held on a $48,000 bond, according to jail records. Moore was arraigned Friday and pleaded not guilty to both charges related to the incident with the children, Seminole County court records show. Now, I want to say this for the record. I don't know the absolute situation of this mother who put her children in danger like this. I'm not harping on the shoplifting. I'm harping on the neglect that could have led to the death of her own children. There's a cause and effect relationship at play with virtually everything. Petty theft typically happens when a person has petty money. Petty money typically happens when an individual does not have gainful employment. There's a cause and effect relationship that has to be discussed. You cannot ignore it. This does not excuse the actions of this mother, but I guarantee you she did not go inside of that store thinking that her children would burn inside of her vehicle, given the fact she abandoned all of that property she allegedly stole to try to save her children who had already been rescued. It is an unfortunate situation that she will face criminal charges and the judicial system. But don't let this story hit your heart without it hitting your logic. If people have gainful employment, they typically do not engage in this kind of action. All right, Bennie, thoughts?
Yeah, most definitely. I think you hit the nail on the head, because really when we see situations like this, we need to ask ourselves, how could society be structured in such a way that this doesn't happen? Because fundamentally, in my personal view, every instance of shoplifting, or at least a very majority of them, society is guilty. Society is the guilty party, right? Because people don't want to just steal things, right? For the most part, people don't just want to steal things. People just want to survive, right? People don't want to leave their kids in the car. People want to, be able to go to the grocery store or whatever, do what they need to do. And so fundamentally, if we lived in a society that had decent childcare support networks, if we had a decent society that actually cared for people with food and groceries and things like that, this would have never happened. And that should be our goal, is how do we make sure things like this never happen?
That's right. If we care about the end result, you care about what got you there, all right?